Throughout history, the vast and unpredictable oceans have concealed countless secrets, but few are as eerie and chilling as ghost ships. Vessels that appear adrift, their crews vanished, their fates unknown. These stories captivate and terrify in equal measure. Today, we explore three of the most haunting ghost ship mysteries that no one can explain. From crews frozen in time to unidentified ghost tankers, get ready to dive into the unknown, the unexpected, and the unexplained. Our first mystery takes us to the icy waters of the Arctic, where the SS Beikimo, a 1,322-ton cargo steamship, earned its reputation as the Arctic ghost ship. Built in Sweden in 1914 and later owned by the Hudson's Bay Company, the Beikimo was used primarily to trade pelts and goods along the northern coast of Canada. But in 1931, something strange began to unfold that would immortalise the ship in maritime legend. In October of that year, the Beikimo was trapped in pack ice near the coast of Alaska. The crew, accustomed to such conditions, abandoned ship temporarily to set up camp on solid ground. They intended to wait out the winter until the ice released its grip. After a few days, a violent blizzard swept through, and when it cleared, the Beikimo was gone. Initially, the crew thought it had been sunk or been carried away by the shifting ice. However, a few days later, a local Inuit reported seeing the ship drifting about 45 miles away. The crew managed to locate and board it, retrieving valuable cargo, but the ship was once again stuck fast in the ice. Deciding that the Beikimo was no longer seaworthy, the Hudson's Bay Company evacuated the crew by air, leaving the vessel to its fate. But the Beikimo had other plans. In the weeks and months that followed, the abandoned ship was sighted multiple times, drifting aimlessly through the Arctic waters, sometimes hundreds of miles from where it had last been seen. Attempts to board or tow the ship failed, as it would vanish into the fog or the ice. For over 30 years, the Beikimo continued to be sighted by Eskimos, explorers, and other ships along the northern coast of Alaska. It became a spectral presence, silently appearing and disappearing in the frozen waters. The last confirmed sighting of the Beikimo was in 1969, nearly 4 decades after it was abandoned, when a group of Inuit hunters spotted it floating near the Beaufort Sea. What makes the mystery so compelling is the fact that despite numerous sightings over such a long period, no one has ever been able to definitively explain what happened to the ship or how it managed to stay afloat in the harsh Arctic conditions for so many years. To this day, the Beikimo has never been found, and its ultimate fate remains a chilling enigma, raising questions about how a ship could survive the Arctic elements for so long, and whether it might still be out there, wandering the icy seas. We return to the cold and desolate waters of the Arctic Ocean, with a tale that dates back to the 18th century, the legend of the Octavius. The story begins in 1775, when the whaling ship Herald was navigating the icy waters off the coast of Greenland. The crew of the Herald spotted a 3-masted schooner drifting aimlessly in the distance. As they approached, they realized the ship was eerily silent and seemingly abandoned. They boarded the vessel, hoping to salvage it or assist any crew members in distress. What they found was a scene of true horror. The ship, identified by its nameplate as the Octavius, was a ghostly tableau, frozen in time. The crew found the captain seated at his desk in the cabin, pen still in hand, with his logbook open in front of him. The rest of the crew was discovered below deck, frozen solid in their bunks, eerily preserved by the frigid temperatures. Even more unsettling was the ship's log, which indicated that the Octavius had set sail from England for the Orient in 1761, 14 years before it was discovered. It seemed that the Octavius had attempted to take the fabled Northwest Passage, a perilous route through the Arctic, but had become trapped in ice. The logbook revealed that the crew had survived for some time, documenting their struggle to break free of the ice. The last entry, dated November the 11th, 1762, recorded the captain's decision to turn back to England, but it was too late. The ship had been locked in the ice, drifting aimlessly with its crew slowly succumbing to the cold. For 13 years, the Octavius wandered the Arctic as a ghost ship, its crew frozen in their final moments before being discovered by the Herald. After the initial discovery, the Octavius was said to have vanished again, drifting back into the icy waters, never to be seen again. Some believe the story of the Octavius is pure legend, a tale to frighten sailors into avoiding the treacherous Northwest Passage, yet others argue that the ship may still be out there, trapped in ice, waiting to be discovered once more. Whether fact or fiction, the Octavius has become one of the most chilling ghost ship legends of all time, a frozen relic lost to time and the unforgiving Arctic seas. For our final mystery, we travel to the waters off the coast of Queensland, Australia, where a modern ghost ship was discovered in 2006, a rusting tanker named the Jian Seng. Unlike many ghost ships lost in the midst of time, the Jian Seng was a recent enigma that puzzled maritime authorities and the public alike. In March 2006, a routine surveillance flight by the Australian Coast Guard spotted a large, rusty vessel adrift near Waipa, Queensland. The ship appeared abandoned and was not emitting any distress signals. A boarding party was dispatched, and what they found was perplexing. The tanker, about 80 metres long, was in a dilapidated condition, but it bore no identifying marks or flags, and there was no trace of its crew. There were no records, no logbooks, no indication of where it had come from or where it was heading. The ship's engine was completely inoperable, and it had no fuel or provisions left on board. The only clue to its identity was the faded name Jian Seng painted on the hull. Maritime authorities were baffled. There was no missing ship reports matching the description, and the vessel was not registered in any known database. As investigators examined the Jian Seng, they found sacks of rice strewn throughout the cargo hold, suggesting it might have been a supply ship for fishing operations in the Pacific. But why was it abandoned, and how did it end up drifting aimlessly off the coast of Australia? Theories began to circulate. Some speculated that it could have been a smuggling vessel or an illegal fishing ship that had been abandoned by its crew to avoid capture. Others suggested that it could have been involved in human trafficking or drug smuggling. However, no concrete evidence was found to support any of these claims. The lack of distress signals and the fact that there was no signs of a struggle or violence only deepened the mystery. Eventually, the Australian government declared the Jian Seng a navigational hazard and decided to scuttle the ship. It was towed out to deeper waters and sunk, taking its secrets with it to the bottom of the sea. To this day, no one knows the true story behind the Jian Seng, where it came from, or why it was abandoned. From the eerie mystery of the Jian Seng to the spine-chilling apparitions of the Octavius, these ghost ship mysteries continue to haunt our imagination. They remind us of the immense and often unpredictable power of the sea, a force that can take without warning and leave nothing but questions in its wake. So which of these ghost ships did you find the most haunting? Do you have an explanation for these mysteries that have eluded experts for decades? Let us know in the comments below. But if you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out a lot. But as always, thank you again for watching, stay curious, and we'll see you on the next one.